Hey everybody, what's up? It's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. So, welcome to tonight's regularly scheduled content. Tonight is our Friday night medically assisted recovery anonymous meeting. Every Friday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, I hold a meeting for Mara here on my channel. If you're someone who is on medication assisted treatment and you need support and you can't find meetings in your area, you can go to marainternational.org. They also have our little meeting here listed under web-based meetings. Hey, Melissa. And I have a few announcements that I'm going to make at the beginning of this video before we get into the meeting and the format. So I have a few recovery birthdays that I want to recognize today. So we have Melissa. Melissa just hit her 1 year on October 16th, 2019, but her sobriety date is October 16th, 2018. So you guys give it up for Melissa. A year sober is a huge accomplishment, Melissa. I know how hard it can be to get to that point, and I know the anxiety that comes along with hitting your 1 year mark. So I'm super proud of you, and just wanted to recognize you in the meeting and let everybody know, that you just hit your year, and it's a huge accomplishment. Huge accomplishment. Also, Candy celebrated her year sober last Saturday on the 12th of October. Okay. Let me see if I have any more. I think I had one. I'm pretty sure Tiara. Where's her date at? Huh. Okay, but I know Tiara was sometime in October too. So, but Melissa, 10, 16, 18. So, heck yeah, girl. I'm super proud of you. Congratulations. I know it's a huge accomplishment. Huge accomplishment. Tiara hit her 1 year on October 7th. October 7th. So we got Tiara, Melissa, and Candy, all three celebrating 1 year sober in October. So what's up, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight? So that's the birthdays that I have to recognize. And if you guys have a sobriety birthday that I don't know about, you can always text me at 501-991-5149, and I will put your sobriety birthday on my calendar to recognize in one of our meetings. Okay. And you can also call in tonight. And if you want to call in on the Real Talk Recovery phone line and, say hi to everybody, I'll put you on speakerphone and you can say hi. Or if you have questions, you want to send them and text them in because you don't want to say them out loud, you can text me on the Real Talk Recovery phone. So, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read the opening part of our meeting. And then what we're going to talk about today is we are going to talk about how to cope with judgment in early recovery. And I categorize early recovery as 5 years or less. Okay. If you're under 5 years sober, I consider that brand new. I kind of look at it like this, like um, when you have 5 years, you're like in kindergarten. Okay. So if you have 3 years, you're like a toddler in pre-K. You know what I'm saying? Because when we're getting sober, like we're learning everything over and over again, and a lot of us, we didn't know how to cope with life. And so, just now at 4 years sober, I'm just getting to a point where like I'm learning how to cope with life on life's terms. And I'm learning how to not react to things. I'm learning how to pause and take my time and not react when I'm, overly stimulated or hurt. Okay. Hey, Woken SoCal, thank you so much for stopping by. Okay, so here we go, guys. We're going to do the format real fast. I think you guys will like it. Okay, here we go. What the heck did I just do? Okay. Okay, guys. So welcome to tonight's Friday night medically assisted recovery anonymous meeting. My name is Nicole and I'm an addict and I do utilize medically assisted treatment. I am on Suboxone. I've been on Suboxone since August of 2015 and I'm currently down to 6 milligrams, but I was on 12 milligrams. So I've been tapering. I'm doing a really slow taper, you guys. So if you guys ever have any questions about that, I'm an open book. You can ask me anything you want to know. Okay. So yeah. So tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to have a topic and discussion meeting, and the topic for tonight is how to deal or cope with judgment in recovery. And I know you guys, being that a lot of us are on medication assisted therapy, a lot of us have had to deal with judgment. And, you know, when I first got sober, that was something I really, really struggled with, really struggled with. So, and what I think happens a lot, you guys, is I think that a lot of the times we get judged by people, not because they're mean people or they want to hurt us. I think it's because they don't understand, you know, or there's a lack of education surrounding medically assisted treatment. A lot of people have like an idea that a lot of people think that if you're on medically assisted treatment that you're getting high still or you're somehow cheating the system. You know what I mean? And I'm going to be honest with you guys. When I first started on Suboxone, before I even got prescribed it, I found out that my husband had gotten prescribed it while I was in treatment. And I remember being so angry with him because I thought that he was trying to take the easy way out. But it's really not the easy way out because if you think about it, if you're like me, my goal is to one day eventually be able to be completely abstinent. So it's just another step that I have to go through to get to where I'm going, you know? But some of us need that extra step to help us to obtain, you know, a strong foundation in our recovery. And I think a lot of the times, you know, we being okay, so us addicts, we're like, I know I am at least. Like I'm very selfish and I focus a lot on me. And a lot of the times I'll think that everyone else is just like me. But what I've learned now that I've been, you know, working with others for a little while and having this channel for a little bit is that we are all so freaking different. And all of our circumstances are so different. No addict, no two addicts are the same. No two addicts experiences are going to be the same. um, where one person might struggle with, you know, alcohol and drugs, another person might just struggle with drug addiction. And I've even gotten to a point where, you know, I've had to become open minded because I used to come into these things and I used to think that you could only do sobriety one way. If you were not abstinent and in AA, then that's not what sobriety is, right? That's not recovery. And that's really what I believed. And it was because that's kind of what I had been taught for so long. So whenever I got put on Suboxone, I was like, whoa, I've got to learn about this medication because in order to like fight, you know, ignorance, you have to educate. Okay, so I had to educate myself about my addiction and I had to educate myself about the medication that I was on, so that way when people ask me questions I can give them an answer for it, you know. I used to really think that before I got on Suboxone, I used to think that Suboxone was this medication that you took to kind of like cheat the system, and it's really not. In fact, I've been on Suboxone for, you know, over 4 years and I don't feel anything, you know, anymore. And when I first got put on it, um, it made me feel tired, lethargic. But now, as the years go on, like I almost feel like it goes up and down. Like some days I'll feel like really energized, and sometimes I'll feel really, really tired, you know? And I don't think that's because of the medication at all. I think that's because of my depression. I think it has a lot to do with my diet. I think has a lot to do with, exercising and how I'm feeling on the inside mentally. But I know that being on the internet and sharing my journey with others and talking about being on medically assisted treatment so openly, what that does in my situation is it kind of opens me up for a lot of criticism, and I've had quite a bit of criticism for how openly I speak about being on Suboxone and sharing, about my recovery. A lot of people don't agree with it. A lot of people don't agree that that I'm on Suboxone and that I've been on it for 4 years. But that's the thing, like not everyone is going to agree with what I'm doing, just like I might not agree with what someone else is doing. But here's the thing, you guys, like I'm never going to judge you for what you are doing in your recovery. The only thing I ever want to do to another addict is encourage that person to stay on the path that they're on to recovery. Okay? Because here's the thing, when I'm picking other people apart and I'm like focusing on what their faults are and their flaws and their character defects and what medications they're on, what I'm doing is I'm not looking inside of myself. Okay? So sometimes this happens to me. Sometimes I'll catch myself, maybe I'll look at another girl in recovery's channel and I'll think, well, she's not doing that right. I don't agree with that. Okay? And then I'll catch myself kind of picking things that I don't agree with. Instead of going in and looking at all the different things that I don't agree with, what I'm trying to do now is find similarities that I find in other creators and other recovering addicts. Because we all have, we're all going to have differences. Not all of us are going to see eye to eye. But I'm telling you this, you guys, it is the best feeling when you can put your differences to the side and unite with people that you normally wouldn't hang out with, because it's challenging me. It's challenging me to like get to know different kinds of people and to step out of my comfort zone. Don't attack others' defects until you fix your own glass house. That's right, Missa. Apache Wolf says, I'm not drinking yet, but one day I want to be. Well, Apache, I don't think if you're an addict, you don't want to. Because I mean, at least I can't. So here's the thing. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about drinking if we're a drug addict. Okay. So I am an addict and an alcoholic. Okay. If I drink alcohol, I am going to drink myself until I pass out. Okay. If I do pills, I'm going to eat every pill. If I smoke, I'm going to smoke all the cigarettes, all the joints, whatever it is. Alcoholism is so accepted, I feel like, among society because alcohol is legal and you can go and get it from the liquor store. Do you know what I'm saying? And so what a lot of people think is they think, oh, well, it's not illegal, so it can't be that bad. This is exactly what I thought too. When I first started drinking, I thought I put drinking up on this pedestal. Okay, I was like 20, 17, 18, before you hit 21. And I thought being able to get drunk was going to be the bee's knees. I couldn't wait till I could start drinking, right? So, of course, like every teenager does, I had somebody older than me go and get me alcohol. Okay. And then I started drinking. And the first time I took a drink of alcohol, you guys, and that warm sensation went down my stomach, I loved it. I loved the change of feelings that it gave me, right? I loved that warm, like feeling it gave my stomach, and I loved the loosey goosey like feelings that I felt from alcohol because it gave me confidence. It made me want to go out and dance on the dance floor. Made me want to get on the bar and take my shirt off and throw it in the air. It made me feel like I was damn, soul sister. I was one of them girls like out there on the stage. And that's what alcohol did for me. It made me feel so alive, right? That's how every drug has made me feel at the beginning. Every time. Every drug that I've ever done made me feel so amazing at the beginning. And then after years of abusing that substance, it sucked the living life out of me. Because what would happen is I became dependent on those substances. And then my addiction started flaring and showing its ugly head. Okay, so my addiction is what caused me to do things like steal, lie, cheat, hurt and harm others. Okay, use and drink while I was pregnant. Okay, not care about the welfare or well-being of my child. Okay, that's what addiction does. Addiction doesn't care if you're a teacher, a lawyer, a doctor, a janitor, a homeless person, a midget, a Mexican, a white person, a black person. It doesn't care. Okay, what the situation, it doesn't care who you are. It doesn't care if you're a damn alien. Okay, if you have the disease of addiction inside of you, when you pick up a drink or a drug, your body does not break down that substance the same way someone who doesn't suffer from the disease. What it does is when we take it into our body, it's like a chemical reaction, an allergic reaction to where we have this phenomenon of craving. And the craving is so great. Did you guys know this? And the obsession to use is so strong that you would literally walk over fire to get your next hit or your next drink. In rehab, there were only about 5 alcoholics, mostly dope. Yeah, it's all, and I think that a lot of alcoholics don't go to rehab or make it there because so many people that drink, what they do is they think it's not that bad because they're drinking, you guys. But I'm telling you, alcohol can kill you just like drugs can. Um, I'm going to tell you guys a story. I think I've told this story on my channel before, but it's about a girl I went to treatment with last time I was in treatment back in 2015. I was in treatment with she wasn't young, she was about my age, but we're not old. Anyways, I was in treatment with this girl and she was in there for alcohol. And when I met her, the whites of her eyes were yellow. I'm talking yellow because her liver was shutting down. Yeah. Is it her liver or kidneys? Whatever that, I think it's the liver. Anyway, was shutting down, okay, from drinking alcohol so much. Well, she was in there for 30 days, and by the time she left there, her eyes had started turning white again. Okay. Sorry, guys. Her eyes had started turning white again and getting, because she was getting better. Well, she got out of treatment and she ended up relapsing on alcohol. And within about a week of that relapse, you guys, she died. She died of cirrhosis of the liver. All right. So it doesn't matter what substance it is, it all leads to the same place, jails, institutions, and death. All right. Um, and if you're lucky enough, you'll go to jail and you'll get locked up before you die. Um, oh, thanks, Adam. You didn't have to do that. I really appreciate it, though. Thank you so much. You guys, I know I come on here and I talk a lot, and we all talk and we share in the comments and we go back and forth about stuff, and but I want y'all to know, like, helping you guys and coming on here and sharing my story with y'all, it really does help me stay sober, and it helps me stay accountable. I come on here and I talk to you guys because y'all are like my friends. I feel like I can come on here and I can share anything with you guys, and you're not going to judge me. You're not going to judge me. And if I need help or I need suggestions, I can come on here and I can ask you guys, hey, what do you guys think about this? What do you think I should do? I knew that when I started my channel, I wanted to have a channel where we could have support, where other people could find support, and where we could all come together and love each other until we could learn to love ourselves. Because here's the thing. I'm still learning to love myself. All right. I'm still learning to love myself. I still beat myself up every day about the things I did in my addiction. I still beat myself up about the weight I've gained in my recovery. Um, but I'm trying to learn to not be so hard on myself because I'm telling you what, y'all, I'm my own worst enemy. And I can be on a roll. I can be doing so good, and then one thing will slip me up, and I'll slide back a couple spaces. I really want you guys to know that, if on my channel, there will never be any judgment from anyone here, okay? If I can help it. If I can help it, I want this place to be an open, safe zone that you can come and you can share and you can feel like you are part of the family. Okay? I want you to feel like you're not alone and that you know that you can come to Real Talk Recovery and that there'll be somebody here that will be here to support you. Um, I also want you guys to know that we have a Facebook group. Okay. We have a Facebook group. You can come on the Facebook group, and I don't know why my thing is meowing so much. You can join our Facebook group, you guys, and there's so many people over there that talk all the time, and it's just a good place to be if you want support. Hold on, let me silence this. It's driving me crazy. Um, it's a good place to be if you need support. You know what I'm saying? Hey, Reaper Man, what's up? Sarah told me you have to love you before you can love someone else. Alcoholics gain weight replacing the sugar from the booze with candy and ice cream. Okay, and I'm telling you what, you guys. So here's the thing. I did a podcast with my friend. His name is Brian, and he has not a channel. He has a podcast on Podbean, Stitcher, Apple Radio, and it's called The Nod Squad. And I was talking to him about like some of the crazy stuff that happened back in my addiction and running the streets and living with dope cooks and all this crazy stuff. But whenever you're using stimulants for so long, it's like my body became dependent on that stimulant as like my metabolism, So then whenever I stopped shooting meth, my metabolism basically is non-existent now, you guys. Like it's probably going backwards right now. And I quit smoking cigarettes. So when I quit smoking cigarettes, that really, I think that also kind of helped with a little bit of the chunky weight gain. But you know what? I'm not going to beat myself up. We're all beautiful. It doesn't matter listen, you guys, y'all are fine. You men in the chat, y'all are fine. You ladies in the chat, y'all are sexy as hell. We all looking good tonight, okay? And that's how we have to talk to ourselves. We have to start building ourselves up and loving ourselves. I have to stop talking and saying, "Oh, I don't look good." No, girl, I look good. My makeup is on point. My hair is looking good. I'm okay. So, I'm telling you, like I think what happens a lot of the times is a couple of like negative comments or something like that will kind of get to me or get in my head. And then I start, kind of beating myself up. But I don't want any of you guys to ever beat yourselves up. And, if I'm going to talk about loving myself and building myself up, then I have to live by what I speak. And I do. I want to preach. I want to walk the walk and not just talk the talk. So if you're somebody that like I've ever had a disagreement with and then I've tried to make amends with, it's like I really don't want to have any beef with anyone. I just want to have like happiness and chill in my life. Like I'm so chill, you guys, at the house. Like I cannot be bothered. Me and my husband have been getting along so good, you guys, and we don't really fight anyway. But I was going to tell you guys, we've been talking a lot in the evening time when we lay down at night, and it's been so great to just connect with him and be able to lay in bed and talk with him. And we've been talking about our sobriety, and he's been talking to me and telling me about how he feels about my sobriety and how proud he is of me for having passion in my recovery. And He shared with me that his passion is our son and giving a great life to our son. And I can understand that. You know what I mean? Like, I never ever thought that I was ever going to be able to not be high. I never thought that me and Neil would have a good life. I never thought that I would have my family back. I'm so grateful to have my mom and dad back. I'm so grateful to have my sisters back in my life. I'm so grateful to have my son. I'm so grateful to have all you guys in my channel. Um, and I think, that's what really helps me a lot coping with things and coping with judgment, you guys, is that I'm just so fucking grateful to be alive. You know what I'm saying? I'm so grateful to be alive. I'm so grateful to have Missa in my life. You guys, me and Missa were in treatment together back in 2004. She was 19 and I think I was like 25 or 6. And we were in treatment together. And I remember the first day that I met her, I thought she was crazy as hell. Little 19-year-old girl, sassy, not listening to the rules, smoking cigarettes and getting all kinds of people in trouble. But now we literally reunited because she found me on YouTube. And I haven't seen her in years. Years, you guys. This was 2004. That's 15 years. And now she's like a huge part of my life and my channel. And think about it. Like back in the day, we would have gotten together and went out and gotten high and relapsed and wreaked all kinds of havoc on Arkansas. But instead, we're in our recovery and we're working together to help other people and to help each other, you know? So it's just crazy. It's like my higher power is working in my life in so many different ways. And it's like he shows me signs through other people. And he shows me that I'm on the right path, you know, through different people and different actions. And it's just like, I would have never been able to see any of these things if I hadn't gotten sober, you guys. I wouldn't have been able to change my life if I hadn't went to treatment. And I truly believe that if I hadn't gone to treatment, I wouldn't have gotten sober. I had to get away from the situation that I was in when my son got taken. So I'm going to kind of move from like what we were talking about. We're talking about judgment and early recovery and all that stuff. And I'm going to tell you guys about, why I think and why I feel like going into like a residential treatment program really, really helps. And I know because, listen, okay, so I think 30 days of rehab, it's great. And I think it means well, like it's a good idea, but 30 days of rehab is not enough time. I feel like you need to go to treatment for at least 90 days. But if you can't go for 90 days and you can only go for 30 days, if you guys can get involved into an outpatient therapy or some kind of like meetings or classes afterward, that's going to save your life. Because here's the thing that I've learned in recovery. A lot of my recovery is about repetition. It's about doing the same thing and practicing that same thing every single day. Every morning when I wake up in the morning, I pray and I thank God. Okay. I thank my higher power for keeping me alive, keeping me sober, letting me sleep good the night before, keeping my son safe, keeping my family, my mom and dad, everybody. And I ask my higher power in the morning to guide me that day and to show me how to live my life clean. Okay. Show me how to live my life one day at a time in their will, how they want me to live. Okay. How my higher power wants me to live. It's almost like a guidance from up above. You know what I mean? Like it's an internal guidance. It's like, my higher power has been inside of me the whole time, just like your higher power is within you. It's your God consciousness that's inside of you. And what you got to do when you're getting sober is you got to tap into that inner voice, that voice that we talked about last week, that you damper and you shut it down and you keep it quiet with the drugs. Can I ask you guys a question and y'all will answer it? When you guys were getting high, did you think, hey, I'm getting high and this is not good? Were you getting high and did you keep getting high more and more and more to not feel or not think or not hear? Or did you get high because you were sad or depressed? Or did you get high because you were experienced some kind of trauma in your life or a death in the family? I mean, what was the driving force behind your addiction? And I'll tell you what mine was. I know for me, when I first started using, the first time I ever drank alcohol, I felt so out of place when I was younger, like seriously out of place. And you guys know that I went to a really small little country school in Arkansas. And when I first started, I think it was me, this girl named Jessica, she was Mexican, and then like 3 black people. And the rest were all white. And listen, I love everybody. I don't care what color you are. But I grew up, like I said, in a real country town. And so a lot of the kids' parents were really prejudiced and they would to forget. Okay, Reaper Man, yes, to forget. And Cindy says she didn't like the way she felt. Okay, see? And a lot of the times I think a lot of us do that because there's something going on inside of us that we don't know how to cope with it. And so what I hope to do on this channel is, if you're struggling and you're still getting high, I want you to come on here and be able to say, I'm getting high, I need help. I don't want you to feel ashamed. I don't want you to try and forget. I don't want you to keep drinking or using to not feel anymore. Listen, I know feelings are hard to go through. Man, I get so uncomfortable with anxiety. I get overwhelmed. I get embarrassed. I'm getting drunk and it needs to stop. It helps me not feel things that hurt me. Adam, here's the thing. I totally understand what you're going through, but I want to ask you this question. So why don't you want to feel? And if you're hurting, do you think that we could get to a point where we could start talking about what's hurting you and you could start sharing that and getting it out? Have you tried that? Have you tried sharing why you're hurting on the inside? Have you tried journaling or calling a friend or talking to your therapist or making a YouTube video and talking about why what you're feeling on the inside and why you're hurting? Did you ever get high enough to forget enough to carry over to the next day? Because I never did. Girl, yes. Well, no. The next day when I got up, I still am stuck with all the feelings and miss a good sentence. Because here's the thing. That's what drugs are temporary. Okay? Drugs are temporary. The feeling produced by drugs and alcohol does not last. Hold on. I'm on the west side of Little Rock, on the edge. It was pretty country here back in the day. Hey, Apache Wolf, where do you live? Where at? Chico is southwest. Ferndale. What's your real name, Apache Wolf? And Mrs. says, okay, Adam says, I don't hurt when I'm sober. Yes, not on a chat. I have a lot of videos. Adam, I really want you to make a video, and you can keep it private and send it to me because I really want to hear what you're going through, and I would love to help you with whatever I can. Okay, Apache Wolf says his name is Glenn. What's up, Glenn? I'm right up the street from you. Right up the street from you. Adam says, incarcerated loved one and relapse makes me feel like a piece of shit. Well, listen, okay? Relapse should not make you feel like a piece of shit. All right. Relapse does not make you a bad person. Okay. Relapse make relapse means you're struggling. Relapse means you're sick. Relapse means that your support system, your foundation isn't strong enough. And we need to work on building that foundation stronger. We need to lay down some cement, okay? So that foundation, that house that we're going to build on it, which is your recovery, will stand strong, okay? When we build our foundation, when we build our sobriety on a rocky or a loose or a sand, we put our fucking house on quicksand, what's going to happen? The whole house is going to sink in. All right. So that's what it's like with recovery. Okay. To build our recovery, we have to have a strong foundation. And so, what you need to do is you need to seek out other strong recovering drug addicts or alcoholics who have strong recovery. Okay. And you need to rally your troops around you. You need to get your family on board if you have family. You need to get your brothers, your sisters, your mom, your dad, your preacher, okay, your sponsor, your best friends. Everybody needs to know that Adam is changing his way. Hey, Bullets, thanks, bud. Everybody needs to know that, hey, I'm making the change and I'm not playing around this time. Because here's the thing, you guys, a lot of the times we try to get sober many times, okay? And you know how, I mean, Lisa, I know how I was. When I was in my active addiction and then I would try to get sober, I would tell everybody, I'm getting sober, I'm sober, I've got a week sober, I've got 30 days, I got 60 days, right? And everybody would get so excited for me, right? They would be like, oh, hell yeah, Nicole, hell yeah. And then the next thing you know, I drop off the face of the earth. Okay. So what happened is so many people, so many times that my family and my loved ones and the people that supported me, they started to think, well, yeah, we'll believe it when we see it. All right. And then when I would go to them and I'd say, I'm sober now. And they'd say, well, okay. What do you mean okay? Why aren't you praising me? Why aren't you telling me good job? Why don't you want to hang out with me again? Why don't you want to come over? Well, Nicole, you said you were getting sober 15 times back before, and every single time you stole my money or relapsed, or you came over and said you was going to be here at 5 and you never showed up, or you told me you would babysit my kids and you stood me up, right? That's what I did. And so all the people closest to us, they go through those times with us over and over and over again. And they get their hopes up and then they get hurt. And it's only because they want us to do good. It's only because they want us to succeed, right? And then when they see us fall, it hurts. And it's also scary. Imagine watching your loved one, your son, your daughter, your wife, your husband. Imagine them killing themselves with drugs and alcohol. Imagine watching them slowly dying. That's what happens. That's what happens when we're in active addiction. Our loved ones, they have to sit by on the sidelines and they know their hands are tied behind their backs. That's what it's like watching someone in an active addiction. It's like watching somebody and wanting to help them with your hands tied behind your back. Because really, nobody can make us get sober. Nobody can do anything really unless we're willing to make changes, right? I mean, they can try and help us find treatment. They can point us in the right direction to meetings or help us find a scholarship or help us get insurance so we can go to the doctor or whatever. But really, it's all comes down to us. I remember my mom thinking, I know my mom wishes she could just like put her hands around my neck, strangle me out, chain me to the bed, and never let me leave the house when I was in my active addiction. But what eventually happens is our loved ones, they have to step back and they have to allow us to go go out and hit that bottom. Man, I'm telling you what, when I went out, my parents finally told me, go, we can't watch you kill yourself anymore. We cannot do this, Um, it took me years after they kicked me out to hit a bottom sufficient enough for me to recover, for me to get help, you guys. It was so it was a good 8 years before I got into recovery. After my parents said, "Get the heck out of here. We can't watch you do this anymore." Um, and I'm just so grateful that I'm not dead. That's why I'm such a huge advocate for medically assisted recovery anonymous, because I know and I see so many men and women die from the disease of addiction, die from overdosing on heroin or other opiates. Okay. And so, like I said before, I used to be very judgmental. I used to think that, the only way to get into recovery was through abstinence. But now I truly believe that you can, if you're on maintenance, if you're on methadone, if you're on Suboxone, if you're on Vivitrol, if you're on Sublocade, if you're on naltrexone or Antabuse for alcoholism, I truly believe that if you want to change your life and be in recovery, that you will do that, and that you will reach out and you will get help, and you won't just take the medication. You will do so many other things to improve your recovery. Because here's the thing, you guys. Did you know that medication assisted therapy is only like 5% of your recovery? The other 95% is your willingness to change. You getting out and you go into some meetings, you getting involved in your recovery and I'm talking like dive head first. All right. When you were a kid and you used to go to the pool and it'd be really cold, you put your toe in the water and you're like, oh, damn, that shit's cold. And so you're a little kid. So you're like, oh, hell, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to cannonball, because that way it won't be that bad, right? Because you just go straight in the water, then it's okay. That's how you got to be about your recovery. All right. You can't go up and just put your toe in. You got to fucking run, and you got to jump, and you got to cannonball right in the middle of all that recovery. And you got to grab all those people and bring them around you. Right. And you need to seek out the people that you see that are doing the damn thing. Okay, you need to find the men and the women that are in recovery, that you see them spreading the message of hope, that you see them living spiritual principles, you seeing them doing the next right thing, you seeing them helping other people, right? That's the thing. You want to see somebody that's living their life, right? And doing what you want to be living in your life, right? Okay, so a lot of the times you'll hear people say, when you're looking for a sponsor, find somebody that has what you want, right? So when I was looking for a sponsor, I looked for a woman, right, who was happy in her life, who was married, who had a car, who had a job, but who was genuinely happy on the inside, and who was grateful to be sober. Do you know what I'm saying? Because listen, you guys, I've met a lot of addicts and alcoholics who've gotten sober but hated being sober. Do you know what I'm saying? Like they were like, this shit's for the birds, but they they hated it. They're miserable. They're not happy. And I think that, just because you quit drugs and alcohol doesn't mean that you're gonna like be healed and feel better about yourself automatically. That's where like the so much work comes in, you guys. Like I'm telling you, when I quit drugs and alcohol, I wasn't like, you know what? I'm healed. I feel so much better now. It actually, what it did was it magnified so many other things in my life that I had been totally screwing up in, and a lot of other behaviors that I struggled with started coming to the forefront, you know. Um, when I quit drugs and alcohol, I had to really start learning how to like communicate, because I didn't know how to communicate. I didn't know how to talk to my husband. I didn't know how to work out things instead of just having a fight. Before I got sober, I used to I used to resort to physical violence. I used to go try to fight my husband or try to fight some girl, you know? Woke and So Cal said, I got addicted due to physical pain, you know, and that happens a lot. Woke and SoCal, a lot of people have legitimate pain and then they get prescribed medications. And, but here's the thing, Woke, the disease of addiction, it's inside of you before you ever took your first pain pill. Okay. But when you took that first pain pill and you got that feeling, what happens is it wakes up that it's like an allergy almost. You know how you can be allergic to peanuts or peanut butter, but you don't know you're allergic to peanut butter unless what? You eat some peanut butter and then your throat swells up, all that stuff. It's kind of like that with the disease of addiction. You wouldn't know that you had the disease of addiction unless you took some pills or you drank some alcohol, right? Because there are other people who don't have the disease who can drink alcohol and who can pop some hydros or take some Percocets, and they don't go out and eat the whole bottle. They don't go out and commit a felony. They don't go out and drive their car into a brick wall. You feel me? So that means that there's a difference between the person who is normal and the person who has an addiction. It's something inside of us. There's something in us that's different than other people because there's millions of people who take the same drugs and alcohol that we took with impunity. It says it in the big book of Alcoholics Anonymous, and that's why a lot of us will see all of our normal friends drinking and getting high with no negative consequences, with impunity. And then here we come along, well, if they can do it, I can do it. And then next thing you know, we're fucking arrested, or we go inside the Walmart and steal something, or we commit adultery and cheat on our man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the disease, you guys. That is what the disease of addiction does. And it's just like, sometimes I think, and I'm grateful. I am grateful to be an addict. I'm grateful because I can share. I used to be so ashamed to be an addict. I used to be ashamed and embarrassed. But today I'm grateful. Today I'm grateful because, that's something about me that I can help and I can share with other people that are struggling. And until I got into a recovery program, I didn't look at it like that. I was ashamed. I beat myself up. But I don't feel like that anymore. I'm proud. I'm proud to be an addict in recovery. And I'm proud to be here with you guys and helping other people and spreading the message. I love doing this. I love coming on here and talking with you guys at night. And I'm really looking forward to when you guys will start calling me and we can really get into this thing. You don't ever have to be embarrassed. You can always remain anonymous. If you text me and you want to ask a question, I'll read your question anonymously. You don't have to say, hey, this is so and so. Yeah, I just want you guys to know that, like, I really appreciate you guys coming here and hanging out with me on Friday nights. It means so much to me. And it really gives me purpose. It really does. And I look forward to doing these little Friday night meetings with you guys. Why am I getting emotional? I really look forward to doing these meetings with you guys. And I'm really, really excited to see how Mara grows. I want you guys to know, like, if you're on medically assisted treatment, that there are going to be Mara meetings popping up in states all over the U.S. And that, if you go to a clinic like a Suboxone clinic or a methadone clinic, you guys share that marainternational.org website with them so they can find meetings for people. Hey Nick, what's up? Me too, hearts. They help, you guys help me so much. So listen to this. Last Friday we had Jeff on the channel. You guys know Jeff. He's on Sublocade and he shared his story. So this next Friday, hopefully I'll have either Nick Leonard from Her Opiate Fix or my friend Leanne on the channel to share their stories. Yeah, you can call me Adam anytime, baby. And you guys know, like, if you need anything, if you just want to text, you need some advice, you just want to say, hey, what's up? Feel free to text me or call me anytime, you guys. Okay, anytime. If you text me, I promise you I'll get right back to you. If you call me and I can't answer the phone, I'll call you right back. But if you text me, I'll be able to respond to you right away. And you guys know, like, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a counselor, I'm not a therapist, I am not any kind of no professional. I am just a recovering addict sharing my experience in the hopes that it'll inspire someone else to make a change in their life. Okay? I just want you guys to know that, like, doing this with you, it really helps me so much. And I really appreciate you guys for being a part of my channel. I love you too, Riverman. So, does anybody have any questions or any requests before we end the meeting? Any questions, any requests, anything? I'm looking at the comment sections now. Bye, Reaper. Oh, one more thing. Our very own Jeff from the recovery went on lockdown 23-1, you guys. Look. Ah! There's our Jeff. You guys go watch his interview. I'm so excited for him. Hey. That's a huge, big, huge deal. Because Death has a huge channel, you guys. So, okay. I love you guys. Is everybody's good tonight? Everybody's having a great night. Nobody is struggling. If you are struggling and you don't want to type it in the chat, like I said, message me on 501-991-5149. Okay, and I will text you right back. Thank you to everybody that came out tonight to the meeting. I love you guys so much. And next Friday we will do this again at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Oh, I started a little bit early, Misty. When did you get here? Huh? When did you get here, Misty? I hadn't seen you comment all the whole meeting. Oh, we started a little early tonight. I'm so excited. I'm like literally going to go watch that interview when I get off here tonight. Misty. Bye, Woke. I'll see you later, man. Thanks for coming in. That's okay, girl. I'll stay on for a little bit longer since Misty just got here. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about some stuff since now we're just chatting. Now this is chatting time. So I don't know if you guys know about Poshmark, but it's an application, it's an app where you can go on and you can buy like makeup, jeans, shoes that other people sell. Okay. So do you guys remember American Eagle boyfriend jeans from like, I mean, they probably still make them, but I haven't seen any like in a couple years. They're my favorite. And they're the boot cut boyfriend jeans. And I got on Poshmark, I think it was yesterday or the day before, and I found 2 pairs for $22. That means they were $11 a piece. So I ordered them. And if y'all don't know this, like I love jeans, but I have to really like them to wear them. Other than that, I'm wearing like yoga pants, right? Because they're comfortable. So I ordered those and I can't wait. I'll show you guys them when they come in, but I think they're going to be really cute. Another thing, I want to get my hair colored. What color should I color it? Should I just get it all dark brown again because that's my natural color, or should I put some like more blonde highlights in it? What do you guys think? And did you guys like my makeup look tonight? I did it special for you guys. Bye, Hearts. Hearts is going to watch Shane Dawson's video. All the girls are like, Shane just uploaded a video, Nicole. We we have to come to the meeting, don't we? Yes. Uh, if I have Dr. B back on the channel, I'm gonna need you guys to send me in some questions for the next time when Dr. B comes on the channel, because I want to have like a list of questions to ask him, like we did last time when we did the first time we did a interview with Dr. B. I had a whole list of questions. Purple. I was thinking about that too, Adam. I like that like purpley lavender color. And listen, we're not having the meet and greet here where I live until after the first of the year. So if any of you guys were wanting to come and hang out with us, we're here in Arkansas, and couldn't come in November, we're going to do it after January. So if anybody wants to come down and hang out with us, we'll all go out to eat. We'll go to a meeting. We'll go fucking bowling or something, sober fun. Then I'm going to pick a date and I'm going to start advertising it and saying, hey guys, if you want to come up and hang out with me and some of the other girls, then this is the day that we're going to do it on. I think that would be so much fun to be able to hang out with you guys and go do some recovery stuff, And then you guys know that like AA and NA, they have like really huge worldwide conventions. So maybe the next time there's a convention, we can all meet at it. Wouldn't that be cool? So, anyways, I love you guys. I'm gonna sign off here. And I'm being kind of silly today. I hope you guys have a great, great night, and I will see you guys either tomorrow or Sunday. And somebody suggested that I upload meditations in the evening. So, you guys, starting tomorrow night, I'm going to be uploading pre-recorded nighttime meditations. So they'll be just short, about 10-15 minutes long. I hope you guys enjoy those and they help you end your night on a good note. So I will see you guys later. I love you guys. Thanks for coming tonight.